Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tom Cat here and welcome back to Forza Horizon 4, and today we are taking a look at the brand new Hoonitruck. Now, the look in the back, this thing is literally like, it's basically a tube frame with some bed sides and like sort of a wing on the back. A massive like fender flare setup. This thing is ridiculous. These like 1552s with bead lock rings. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And just that classic Ford front end looks so menacing up front. So freaking menacing. Twin turbo V6 out of the Ford GT. Well, basically out of the Ford GT. Similar to what's in the Ford GT and the Ford Raptor. And I'll go over the full specs of this thing with you guys in just a second. But my God, it's just such a crazy setup. It's one of those things that you just look at it and you go, wow, I need one. You know, you just look at it and you go, oh my God, I need one and I need it now. So let's go ahead and go over to cars real quick. And I'll go over the stats of this thing with you. This thing comes in at 914 horsepower, 702 foot-pounds of torque, weighing in at 3,200 pounds. Now, we are going to take it into the garage later and kind of look at it and see if there's anything we can do to it. But before we do that, let's see how it drives. Let's do a little bit of a boosted launch. I know it's raining, but still. And go! Gets out of the hole very quickly with the all-wheel drive system. Pull that e-brake and floor it, and this thing absolutely just goes. It just, you can, this thing sends it. It absolutely freaking sends it, even if you send it into a rock wall. But, all right, these drivatars have been all over me today, and I don't know if they're just aiming for me or what, but this thing just, I mean, even if it is all-wheel drive, and I know there's going to be, you know, people out there that are purists that are going to be like, oh, it's all-wheel drive, it's not drifting, and they're going to make sure, you know, to let everybody know that. Yes, okay, this is not drifting, or at least the type of drifting that you would do with a rear-wheel drive drift car. This is the type of drifting that you would do, like, this is the type of drifting that's done for show. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, now, to be fair, yes, Gymkhana is a thing, rally is a thing, and that's what this is all inspired by. But this thing was made to just be crazy. And it was made to work, too, but it was made to be crazy. The parts list that went into making this thing is absolutely off the charts. Now, if you're only used to drifting rear-wheel drive cars, basically, this will be a little bit different for you, and kind of what you have to do here is handbrake and floor it. That's literally it. Handbrake, a little bit of counter steer, and a lot of flooring the throttle, because that's how you drive this truck. You drive it similarly to how you would drive the Hoonicorn, just with a little bit less speed and power, a little bit less Clarkson, basically. But with that being said, since the truck has less power, you have to beat it up a lot more. Like, you really have to be mean to the thing if you really want to get a big combo going with it. So, with that being said, let's flip a U-turn real quick. Which is, oh God, that's hilarious. You can add, you know, a slight donut into your U-turn if you want, because this thing is amazing at donuts. If there's one thing this thing is good at, it is donuts. Now, I did want to avoid those two, because those two would have 100% had no issue with hitting me head on. And we are now in the speed zone, which means we don't have to think about traffic while we're sliding. You kind of have to be a little mean to the e-brake. You really do. You really have to be a little mean to the e-brake. And that's not a bad thing necessarily. It's just something that you have to remember. You're going to be e-braking this thing a lot. You really are. And that's, like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's just kind of a thing. And it's something you'll have to be aware of as you come into driving this thing, especially if you want to use it to score big combos. And to be fair, you know, I am not a big all-wheel drive guy when it comes to stuff like this, especially when it comes to drifting. But to be honest, this thing actually really makes it fun. It makes it a blast. And especially, you know, for me, scoring higher with this is actually harder for me to do than with a rear-wheel drive, because I have so much practice in rear-wheel drive, and not a lot of practice in all-wheel drive setups, especially like even a setup this good is gonna take some practice. If you, wow, the blind hill made it impossible to see you. Sorry. Oh, there, RIP my combo. Jeez. But anyways, and that's, you know, something that it's weird because a lot of people say, you know, a lot of people rag on all-wheel drive because they're like, oh, it's too easy. But to be honest, like, it takes just as much skill as anything else to do really, really well in an all-wheel drive, and that's why I think, you know, people kind of miss the boat when they, you know, when they say, oh, all-wheel drive takes no skill and, you know, period, end of sentence, end of thought. I mean, yes, is it easier to recover an all-wheel drive than it is a rear-wheel drive? In some ways, yes. In some ways, yes, it is easier to recover. However, it's not easier to recover if you don't know what you're doing. And it's also not easier to maintain a combo with an all-wheel drive, in my opinion, because you don't get that instant wheel spin from the back that you would in a rear-wheel drive car. So there's, oh god, that's terminal angle. But, and see, there's stuff to get used to with this thing. Like, if you go to full angle and you know, you miss the point at which you can bring it back, you're kind of going off the road. And so it's not one of those things that you can, like, jump into and, you know, be a driving god. And, like, that seems to be what a lot of people think about these all-wheel drive cars, is that, you know, you hop in one and bam, driving god. And it's not necessarily that easy. And I know that there's going to be those people out there in the comments that are going to be like, no, it's just because you suck, Tomcat, that's it. But, oh god. But to be fair, you know, it's definitely not a normal setup, and I'll show you what I mean. But I also see the stuff that we've been doing out here has been very high speed, you know, probably honestly more rear-wheel drive focused than anything. So what I'm going to do now is take it up the hairpins where this thing will really shine. And believe me, when I say this thing will really shine up the hairpins, oh my god, it does so freaking well, because I practiced with it a little bit before, and dude, it's a freaking animal. When it comes to going up these hairpins, oh my god, it's an animal. Because you literally just throw it in, and it goes. The rear bias definitely comes out more in, like, second gear, but you can literally just pitch it in and floor it, and pitch it in and floor it. Like right here, pitch it in, e-brake, and floor it. Tiny bit of counter steer closing in on the exit, and just, like, ride it out. That's all you have to do. That's literally all you have to do. And again, you know, that doesn't help the point that I was trying to make earlier of it not being, you know, too easy. But I guarantee you there's people out there that are going to see that and go, oh, see what I mean? It's too easy. But, oh god, it's not too easy when it comes to like these scoring zones, because to be honest, like, with a rear-wheel drive car, the biggest thing that I do is I always use the available wheel spin from the back to help me keep my points building. And, you know, again, like I said, I'm not a big all-wheel drive guy, so it's not necessarily my main point, you know, of focus. But I know that we're really close to the festival, but I actually want to fast travel up to one of my favorite houses, which is right up here on Castleview Road, and we're going to pop into this house and take this thing into the garage and see if there's anything we can actually do to it, see if there's anything that the game lets us do to it, and kind of get an in-depth look at what you can do mechanically to this absolutely insane rig. So let's enter the house. And once we're in, we'll go straight to the garage. No questions asked. Like, that is 100% where we're going. So, garage, there we go. Well, almost. And, all right, upgrades and tuning. Custom upgrade. So, engine. We can upgrade a few things. Race cams and valves. Race valves themselves. Race block and race turbos. That brings us up to 1,460 horsepower and 1,065 foot-pounds of torque. That is going to turn this thing into an entirely different animal. Brakes-wise, we can go up to a race brake setup, which, to be honest, I figured we would have already been on. We can also put this thing on rally suspension if we so desire, but I'm not going to. Race weight reduction brings this down from 3,224 to 2,990, which will help us now with that newfound power. And then you can also change the wheel and tire setup if you really do, like, desire. I'm going to leave the Toyos on there right now. Front tire width, we can go up to like a 335. I feel like we might want to, but at the same time, I kind of want this thing to be slidier. I'm not going to change the wheels because, I mean, let's be completely honest here. Those wheels look absolutely perfect in that size on this rig. And if you really want to do this, you can make it rear-wheel drive. But I feel like making it rear-wheel drive, yes, it would be cool, but it would also defeat the purpose of what this setup is supposed to be. Now, we are going to head back out into the wild, making almost 1,500 horsepower. Almost. We are only 40 horsepower away from the big 1,500. That is ridiculous. Absolutely just off the charts insane. And oh my god, it's raining, but screw it. Let's see what happens. And go. Spins all four in second gear. Holy crap. Spins all four in third. This is the mental monster I wanted out of this truck. Dude. Okay, once it reaches terminal angle, it's gone. It is gone once it reaches terminal angle. All right, let's go. These roundabouts are going to be hilarious. Oh, God. Stay on the pavement, please. All right, all right, all right, all right. Excuse me. All right, let's switch to the other one since we just hit ultimate. Ooh. You can rip once you hit third. Like, this is hilarious. The game starts to think you're doing a burnout rather than a drift, which makes sense. God, this much power and all-wheel drive makes this thing a little bit of a handful on these little roads. It's a fun handful, though. I was going to say, we should get a drift tap out of that. Oh, boy. Oh, God. God, this thing is revving to almost 9,500 RPM now. In fact, I can get you an actual number. Yeah, it's like right over 9. That's freaking crazy. So crazy. Holy crap. Oh, I'm gonna just, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Really? That was terrible. Just one of the biggest things to drifting this thing is you have to remember, speed is one of the biggest keys. Like, if you do not come into this game with speed, you are not going to do very well with this truck anyway. It doesn't like low-speed stuff. Well, it does, but only very specific types of low-speed stuff. Like, certain other types of low-speed stuff, it doesn't like, and it doesn't like them at all. This type of low-speed stuff, it can do, but you kind of have to be still, like, quite careful about how you actually go about it. But, man, if you get into, like, a rhythm with it, oh, my God, is it hilarious fun. Ooh. There we go. There it is. Oh, come on. Out of the way. Out of the way. I don't even care. That's probably going to bank. Okay, you know what? I literally drove through the grass to make it not bank that combo. That's bad. Ooh. Those Chargers, I tell you what, they will hit you. They will aim for you. You know what? Stay on the sidewalk. Traffic cars. Even fifth gear is freaking rowdy now. I love this thing. It's fun. It's a handful. It's exactly what you want it to be honest. I was going to say, it was either going to be the tree or that car that was coming straight at us. That was bad. But, like, honestly, again, you end up having to deal with the fact that once you reach a certain point of angle in this truck, it's kind of like a cutoff. It's genuinely got this weird cutoff to where, like, when you're done, you're done. And I don't know if that's, like, just a side effect of it being all-wheel drive or, like, a side effect of the setup. But, man, once you hit that point, it's like, oh, you're done now, and enjoy yourself. Oh, I bet it's going to love this big roundabout. Oh, it freaking loves it. I'm going to let it bank the score because I know it's going to, but I want to see how long it'll just go. All right, I'm going to let this thing bank the score because I'm not really too concerned about it. And the angle it can hold continuously is hilarious. Honestly, it would just keep going forever. It genuinely would. Like, look at it at this point. It would literally just keep going. Occasional handbrake pull here and there. But, like, if you kept, like, the perfect arc around this circle, dude, you would literally never have to, like, you would almost never have to let off. I wonder what would happen if I never let off. Oh, my God! Holy angle. That's how you save it without ever letting off. Look at that. Holy crap. That is insane. So that's what happens when you get a stock Hoonitruck, drive it, then upgrade it to nearly 1,500 horsepower, and then you drive it again. But honestly, even after this video ends, I'm going to keep driving it because I'm having an absolute blast. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to slam that like button. Tell me in the comments below what y'all thought of it. And if you have any suggestions for anything else you would like me to film. And make sure you subscribe for more. I'll see y'all next time. Talk to you guys later.